All we can say is wow. We ran an NBA playoff special in which the first 99 packages sold were discounted down to $149, and pardon the pun, they sold like hotcakes. Well, NHL fans, do not fret as we are not only matching that offer, but we are actually making it better. Starting Monday, April 25th, the first 99 packages sold using the code PUCK149 will not only get the entire NHL playoffs for only $149, but they will also get the rest of the regular season for free. That means that you can get over 2 months of NHL through the Stanley Cup Finals for under $19 per week. That's paying less than one single play package regularly priced at $25. Do not get shut out as coupon code PUCK149 is good at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo and only will be available for the first 99 packages sold, but you may use this code to purchase more than one NHL playoff package.
Welcome into First Pitch for Thursday, April 28th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Steve Merrill and Teddy Covers of WagerTalk.com. We got NFL draft tonight. We got NBA playoffs. And we got a short MLB slate with 3 good games we're breaking down on tonight's slate with 2 of the best in the business. Teddy Covers at Teddy_Covers, WagerTalk.com. Teddy, welcome in. I believe this is your first time on the show this season. Glad to have you, buddy.
It is. I'm making my 2022 debut on First Pitch. I'm happy to pinch it. I know Marco's out of town and Brian's out of town. Happy to pinch it and step in and do my best to break down the 3 games for this evening, which ironically, I have, I think, bettable opinions on at least 2 of the 3. So we'll see if we can roll on this one, Drew.
Yeah, Teddy's got some plays up and available at WagerTalk.com. We got Steve Merrill as well. Steve, always good to have you, man. Always bringing the heat just a bit outside. Welcome in. Happy Thursday to you, buddy.
Yeah, Drew, great to be here. And it's a first Wager Talk TV history. Teddy, Drew, and Steve doing a baseball show. So this is the first time, and I'm excited about it. And couldn't have worked out any better. We got 3 nighttime games. We're going to hit all 3 of them, including the national TV matchup. Before we get to those, though, I do have a daytime best bet for those live viewers out there that goes this afternoon at WagerTalk.com. A lot of daytime baseball. So if you're watching us live, go get my top play in the daytime card, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, a lot going on right now on the day slate. Some night games, 3 of which we're breaking down right now, starting with the Guardians and the Angels. That's Cleveland versus LA. We get Quantrill versus Detmers. We're seeing a minus 150, minus 160 price tag here on the Angels at home, Teddy. 8.5 being the total. You liking anything tonight in Southern California, Teddy Covers?
So of the 3 games we're going to talk about, this is the one that I have probably the least opinion on. I really do. There's not going to be no Ohtani in the lineup for LA tonight. And, I mean, the role Mike Trout's been on, they might not need Ohtani. And, of course, it's an Indians team that's now lost 5 in a row. They're not hitting at all. They only scored 1 run in this series, only scored 7 against the Yankees in the Bronx prior to here. And we talked about this when Cleveland got off to that hot start. You know, and they were tearing the cover off the ball early like this. You know, there's early season runs you believe in, and there's early season runs that you don't. And the Indians were one where like, tap the brakes on Cleveland's lineup. And, you know, they have not hit the ball well at all. In fact, 2 runs or less for the last 5 and 8 of the last 10. That's not a team I want my money on, even though Quantrill is one of these starters that he gets me. He's gotten me more than once. So I'm sometimes reluctant to go against him because he's pretty good. And the Angels, obviously, without Ohtani in the lineup today, missed some firepower, but LA's won 3 straight. They're certainly the better of these 2 teams. If I'm playing, I'm laying. I don't want the dog.
Okay, fair enough. And Steve, coming to you next, man. I mean, Teddy put out some good stats there in terms of, LA having the better lineup here. Do you think it's enough to lay the minus 150 price tag?
Yeah, I didn't want to steal Teddy's exact line, but he said if you're playing it, you're laying it. I was going to say if you play, you got to lay. So we're going to say the same train of thought here on this game. And my concern is that they're resting – not that they're resting Ohtani, it's just the mindset. You know, that tells you that this isn't a game that they're necessarily going out and definitely trying to win. That's a concern, especially when a team's already won the first 3 in a series. Maybe they don't get that 4-game sweep. But once again, if you're going to play it, you got to lay it. That's the only way I would use this game is the Angels, even without Ohtani. And that's just because they're in much better current form. This is a team that's won 4 straight, 6 of their last 8. And as Teddy said, the Cleveland Indians, he's got me doing it now. He said Indians. I hate Guardians anyway. I'll say Cleveland has lost 6 straight and they're not hitting the ball. Sometimes the wins and losses can be misleading. The run scored can be misleading. Cleveland did put up 11 hits, 5 runs last night. Maybe that's the buy sign, but they'd had 4 hits or less in 3 of the 4 previous games. They'd scored 2 runs or less in 3 straight before that. I need to see more than just one game, so Angels the only way I would play this one.
Okay, looking towards the Halos to start off the card here, guys. We got the middle game of the 3 we're breaking down. It's the Cubs and the Braves. We get the Chicago Cubs at the Atlanta Braves here in Cobb County, Steve. We're seeing an 8.5 as the total, minus 200. That's Kyle Wright at home and the Braves. He's been good. 2 6-inning performances, 0 earned runs, going up against Drew Smyly coming from the left side. You think the Braves are worthy of this minus 200 price tag here, Steve?
Yeah, your Chicago Cubs, Drew Martin. And by the way, Teddy Covers, if you don't know, the Chicago Cub is a baby bear. Drew Martin taught me that on Tuesday in depth. He gave me some detailed analysis on that. We had a discussion on that. But it's funny, Drew, we talked about Fried that night. It was Greg Maddux bobblehead night, as Drew mentioned on Tuesday. And I said maybe Fried will channel his inner Maddux. And he pitched really bad against the Nationals in Reds. He pitched really well against the Dodgers on the road, go figure. And the Cubs did struggle on Tuesday against Fried, just 1 run total in that game and only 4 hits. They did break out yesterday with 11 hits and 6 runs. Maybe that's the buy sign there. One thing that's certain is Atlanta's not hitting the ball well. This is a team that's supposed to be a pretty good offensive team. They've had single-digit hits now in 6 straight games. They've had 3 runs or less in 4 of those 6, 4 runs or less in 5 of those 6. So maybe the buy sign with Chicago. I think this could potentially be a live dog tonight. I definitely do not want to lay almost $2 with an Atlanta team that is struggling offensively.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Braves, kind of, Teddy, not off to a great start this season. Their outfield actually hitting under 200 as a batting average combined, but Acuña activated off the IL. However, it is his first game back. That's not, I don't know. I kind of tread lightly in that stuff, Teddy, but I'll throw it over to you. You've been a successful bettor for longer than me, man. What do you think of that situation, Acuña coming back, and also your overall thoughts here on the Cubs and the Braves?
Acuña raked in AAA last week, so I'm not convinced that he's going to come in and be ice cold for Atlanta. But this, to me, these are situations that I look for early season in MLB. All right. Here's Kyle Wright, who was, I think, the number 5 overall draft choice back in 2017. First round pick, a guy who had enormous potential. And he had various injuries, he had various setbacks, he had various issues. This is the first year that he's finally healthy and good to go. And his first 3 passes through rotation have been dynamite. All right. The Braves are 3-0 in his starts. The guy has struck out 26 batters. He's only walked 2. He's only allowed 2 runs in 17 innings. Doesn't get a whole lot better. The metrics say he's the best pitcher in baseball right now, or one of the best pitchers in baseball. And I like to tap the brakes on that a little, especially this early in the season. Okay? It's like, okay, I know that Wright has potential. I know he's been really good. But is the consistency going to be there every single at-bat? Because let's not forget, Cubs, number 1 in MLB in batting average. Number 1 in MLB in OPS. Real quiet. No one's talking about Chicago's lineup. Remember, they traded everyone and lost everyone in free agency. Well, they're hitting, and they hit last night. And, of course, behind Wright, Kenley Jansen for Atlanta has been used each of the last 2 nights. I don't think he goes tonight. So what do they do for a closer? And the bullpen behind Jansen got rocked last night. It was a bullpen game. Extra innings in a game where Charlie Morton only got 1 out in the 3rd before he got pulled. The other side of the equation, here's Smyly, Drew Smyly, who I could have sworn I remember him doing. Oh, yeah. He won a World Series in Atlanta last year. He pitched in the playoffs and the World Series. And the Braves said, thank you, bye-bye. Thanks for helping us get the ring. See you later. Signed in Chicago. He was disappointed in the contract that he got. You think he's looking forward to this start against his former team that he helped win a title for, and then they showed him the door? Yeah, I think the Cubs are live, dog. I think they're live first 5. I think they're live full game. I wouldn't argue with splitting your wager between the 2. If you split, you make money. If you win them both, you make a bunch of money. Cubs are a live dog in this bettor's opinion.
Great analysis there, Teddy. Looking towards the Cubs, plus price as the dog. We got one game left, guys. Huge shout out to the chat box. Buck, Jeffrey, James, Kyle, all you guys joining us live. Feel free to fire out what you're looking to bet tonight, where you agree, where you disagree. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a line below. In fact, we encourage it. Any questions, we'll ask tomorrow's show, next week's show, we'll get it out there to the handicappers. So, guys, last game on the card here, we got 9-11, 9-12. It's actually the last game on the full betting card for MLB, so we'll be going on with the NFL draft here. We get Castellanos, that's Humberto Castellanos, the former Mexican League Baseball standout, versus Dakota Hudson here, Teddy. And we're seeing the Cardinals heavy favorites, minus 170, as high as minus 185 here, with a low total 7.5. Kind of almost like the market's telling us something here. What are you thinking? D-backs and Redbirds late night.
Yeah, well, late night. I mean, it's actually an early start for a game in St. Louis, which would normally start at what, 5 Pacific time, 8 Eastern. So everything's early in MLB today. They were trying not to go against the draft. You know, the evening game back east for the Angels is a 1 o'clock tip-off in LA in the afternoon. So, it's a very early slate for MLB this evening. I want no part of Arizona, okay? Arizona, I mean, Rob Vino has a great line that a team can get to 3 runs by accident. I watched it last night. Arizona got to 3 runs by accident. They had a solo shot. That was the only hit they got for the first 8 innings. In the 9th, they did have an infield single. And there was a walk, and there was a throwing error, and they ended up scoring 2 runs, and they got the 3 by accident. They got the 5 by accident the night before against the Dodgers. And Terry Lavello was coming out with some really positive quotes, talking about how, we're built to win tight games, and we're going to be in lots of games like this one, and our experience last year has been good in the close games. And, they found ways to, steal back-to-back games against the Dodgers, a team that has owned them in each of the last 2 years. So, kind of a fat and happy dog off back-to-back wins. They can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag. They're traveling east. The game starts a little bit early. St. Louis bounced back nicely from losing the first 2 games against the Mets. They pounded out 10 runs yesterday. And when you look at these 2 lineups, there's no comparison. Yeah, cards or pass for this better. From a total standpoint, Arizona can't hit. I don't see, and they got the 5 and 3 the last 2 nights on a combined 6 hits. They scored 8 runs on 6 hits the last 2 days. Arizona team total under? No problem with that either.
Nice catch there, Teddy. Yeah, it isn't late night, guys. 7:45 Eastern start, 4:45 on the Pacific Coast. Steve, coming to you next. We got a good comment here from Ernesto in the chat saying it's pronounced Castellanos, and he's getting rocked tonight, pointing towards the Cardinals. I don't know. Do you agree with him there, Steve? What are you thinking tonight?
Castellanos, yeah, I mean, the Cardinals put up 10 runs, 15 hits yesterday against Teddy's New York Mets, and that's good offensive form, although they had 2 runs or less in 3 previous games, 3 total runs in the 3 games prior. So once again, is that the buy sign? We'll find out. But as Teddy said, I mean, the thing that jumps out to me, and we talked about this yesterday, Teddy and I were on Wager Talk today, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, every day on Wager Talk TV. And by the way, Drew Martin, I will be guest hosting with Teddy Covers tomorrow at noon Eastern on Friday on Wager Talk today. So check that out here on Wager Talk TV. But I mentioned that Dodger game yesterday on the show, and I thought it was a good bounce back spot for LA after a misleading loss on Tuesday in which the D-backs had just 4 hits, but somehow they managed 5 runs. Well, guess what? The D-backs did it again yesterday, as Teddy said. This time they managed 2 hits and 3 runs. So they've had 8 runs on 6 hits in back-to-back games. I will fade a team like that anytime. And keep in mind, that was in hitter-friendly Chase Field. They're now on the road, no rest travel situation. Everything points to St. Louis here. Now, what's going to scare a lot of people off this game is the price. It opened, it opened 185. I've seen it come down a little bit, which I don't understand at all. It's now down to maybe 170. So you could look at the run line minus 1.5 at plus 120. You get a little plus money, but I'm not going to let the minus 170 scare me because in baseball, if you pick the straight up winner, that's all that matters. You're not going to lose by the hook. You're not going to lose by half a point when the straight up money line. And I just don't see St. Louis losing this game. Their offense broke out last night. Arizona's remains ice cold, and it's not a fluke. This is a really bad Arizona team. They had the lowest season win total in the National League. I don't want to say they're the worst team in the National League because the Reds are looking really bad, but Arizona's right up there. A better team at home, focus spot, and it's still a reasonable price at minus 170 against an Arizona team that's going to lose probably 100-plus games this year. that means you should be getting over $2 if you're going to play Arizona. We're nowhere close to that tonight.
Like it, Steve. Good breakdown there. Guys, we got best bets, final thoughts for the show coming up. I'll start us off here. Going to the first game we talked about, Cleveland Guardians versus the LA Angels. Quantrill on the hill, the former first rounder from Stanford University, going back to the state of California. We get the better pitcher here. And I'm going to take him plus 1.5. And it's minus 145, that price tag. So we'll get 9 at-bats to 8 at-bats. Getting the plus run on the run line. Detmers, he's had over a 7 ERA since last August. He's been getting banged around at the major league level. I think Cleveland gets to him. And Ohtani just pitching yesterday. We talked about it earlier in the show. Teddy pointed it out. Likely not going to be in the lineup tonight. So, hey, I think that's a big bat, arguably the biggest bat in MLB. Granted, Trout's in the lineup, but a little bit more room for Quantrill to work around him. I say take Cleveland. This is my best bet for the show, guys. Plus 1.5 on the run line, minus 145. That's what I'm going with here. Throw it over to Teddy Covers. Follow him on Twitter at Teddy_Covers. Check him out on the NFL opening line report each and every Monday on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Check out his plays. WagerTalk.com experts page, Teddy Covers. Teddy, any final thoughts for the show, and where are you going for best bets?
Yeah, I mean, we do have one of the games we talked about locked and loaded for tonight in MLB action is a 3-star selection. We do have a 5% big ticket in the NBA this evening. For those who are interested, the 5% run's been pretty impressive. 12-2 last 14, 37-14 the last 51. 5% big ticket plays dating all the way back to last May. So it's been a real nice run with my strongest selections. Best bet this evening is real simple for me. I think you probably heard about it when I talked a moment ago about the Cubs and the Braves, that while Kyle Wright is good, Kyle Wright has promise, Kyle Wright's been solid this season, I think the price tag's excessive with Atlanta tonight. There's value on Chicago. First 5, you can get the Cubs in the plus 170, plus 180 range. Full game, you can get the Cubs in that exact same range. I recommend splitting your wager between the two. If you split, Cubs win first 5 or full game, and don't win the other one, you still make nearly a unit based on the plus 180 price tag. So Cubs is a live dog. That's my opinion. Drew, back to you, my friend.
All right. Thanks for that, Teddy. We got Steve Merrill as well. Follow him on Twitter at Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, experts page, just a bit outside. Steve, what do you got for best bets and final thoughts for the show, man?
Going to look at a free baseball play for Thursday night. Just a reminder, you get all my best bets at WagerTalk.com each and every day, Steve Merrill. And 77 is the lucky number right now because I'm on a 77% run on MLB run line side selection since last season. Also up 77 units over the past year on NBA side selections, NBA playoffs, MLB, both in full swing. It's a great time to try an all sports, all access package for Steve Merrill at WagerTalk.com. Let's get to a free baseball play for Thursday night, a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut, and that's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals minus 170. I'd play this one action. I don't think it's going to matter. It's a pure play against Arizona, who's coming off 2 of the most misleading wins you will see all season in Major League Baseball against probably the best team in the league, the LA Dodgers. So everybody say, wow, back-to-back dog wins over the Dodgers. The D-backs must be hot. Not so fast. They had 4 hits, 5 runs, and then they had 2 hits, 3 runs in those 2 wins. They had 8 runs on only 6 hits the last 2 games in those upsets over the Dodgers. Extremely misleading. Now they're traveling without rest on the road. They remain one of the worst offensive teams in baseball, averaging just 3 runs a game, batting 178 on the season. They've actually been weaker at home in Chase Field, which makes no sense. Just a bad offensive team all the way around. Meanwhile, St. Louis was struggling offensively, 3 straight losses, but they broke out yesterday against the Mets. 10 runs on 15 hits. I look for that momentum to continue tonight on Thursday. Take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals minus 170. Play at action as I like it no matter who the pitchers are on the mound tonight. Pure play against Arizona and a play on St. Louis. Don't forget best bets, NBA and MLB every day, including tons of free selections as well. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Great analysis as always, Steve. Hey, I got to follow up. Well, here we'll best bets recap. Guardians plus 1.5, minus 145 for me. Cardinals money line minus 170. Just heard it there from Steve. Teddy Covers Cubs first 5 plus 180. Split it. Money line plus 180, first 5 and full game. Steve, before we shut this down, follow up question for you. It's correlated with what you're talking about there on the Cardinals. They just had a brouhaha a little bit against the Mets yesterday. Does that factor in at all for you? Kind of bet on or maybe fade a team that's coming off of that? I guess in this case it would be more bet on, or does that not factor into your handicap?
I don't think it factors in too much, but I do think in this situation, Drew, it's not a negative. I think it's a positive. And once again, it's that momentum angle. This is a team that scored 3 total runs and 3 straight losses, and then they put up 10 runs on 15 hits yesterday. So anything that's going to spark you out of that cold streak, I think the offense is sparked. Any kind of, anything that kind of resets you. I think it's a positive in this case.
Okay. Teddy, any quick thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, what the fight was about, and if you read what St. Louis is talking about, they missed the sticky stuff on the balls. All the stuff that got outlawed from the pitchers, and pitches are being a little bit more wild this year. So the Mets have had a whole bunch of batters get hit. They were really upset with the pitch that got away from the Cards hurler yesterday that led to that big, brouhaha. But in terms of how it affects the team, I agree with Steve 100%. In general, maybe not much. When a team's cold and they have a fight and all of a sudden they come out and pound the crap out of someone, that may well be a positive sign. And I really said Indians. I haven't said Indians all year. It's the first time I've done that. So I've been pretty good about Guardians.
I loved it.
Yeah. So
keep it up.
We're all human. I've been pretty good at avoiding that. But now let's talk about who the Redskins are going to draft tonight.
Yeah,
that's a joke.
They're dead to me, Teddy Covers. Dead to me.
Steve Merrill, Teddy Covers. I am Drew Martin. Check us out, guys. WagerTalk.com. A lot of best bets up, guys. Good day to check out the website. Best of luck if you're out there tailing. Guardians plus 1.5, minus 145. Cardinals money line minus 170, and Cubs first 5 and full game plus price there from Teddy Covers. Big underdog on the Cubbies. For Teddy, Steve, I'm Drew. Guys, best of luck. Thanks for tuning in. Please smash that like button. We'll talk tomorrow, same time, same place. Come back and join us.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.